I didn't hear voices. It was a conscious decision on my part. I didn't hear voices. It was a power. With me, it was more of a power thing because of my fantasies. I acted on my fantasies, consciously. It was a conscious decision on my part. Power thing. Power thing. I didn't hear voices. I didn't hear voices. I didn't hear voices. It was a conscious decision. Power.
Welcome to my new show. It's called Lucky McTrucker. All right, whatever. Anyway, I haven't done one of these in a while. Just whatever. I haven't done one in a while, and it was kind of something I wanted to talk about for, I see it on the internet a lot about the driver-facing cameras on YouTube, and truckers talking about that. So I wanted to give my take on it, and also the DOT MedCard long form. The thing is about the long form, when you look through it, it kind of goes over your health history, and it asks questions, diabetes, and blah blah blah, high blood pressure, any amputations that you may or may not know about, or if you had any, or things like that. It's about your sleep, trying to nail you on the sleep study, drugs, alcohol, things like that. But the one thing that it doesn't really get into, which I thought was kind of like something that was missing in the whole thing, was the multiple personality disorder. I mean, it doesn't really ask you, anything about that. I mean, I don't, whatever. I mean, we're all a little bit goofy in our own ways, but, I mean, like, like the question would be like, do you find yourself talking to yourself and arguing with yourself when you've been on the road for a long time? I mean, you would have a question like that, and you would have to check off, I think so, yes, maybe, unknown, some kind of a thing like that. So it doesn't have like that. It would be like, if you were talking to yourself, do you find yourself disagreeing with yourself and arguing with yourself over it? Do you refer yourself as the third person, first person, second person? Are you we, I, we are taking the load to blah blah blah, or we are picking up, like you are the we, and we will be there, you're telling your dispatcher, yeah, we'll get the load there, don't worry about it, we'll get it there. Like, wait, does he have somebody in the truck with him? No. But if you did have this, like, and you got a job, could you get a job like you and your alternate personality, you come on as like a team, like team drivers. So like your alternate ego is in the bunk while you're driving, and then somewhere, in your head, whatever triggers the other one to come up and start driving, you got two different logins, and you're going down the road, and then all of a sudden, whatever. So now your other ego kind of takes over from there. So now let's say you have multiple personality disorder, and you got like, let's say like 4 different personalities roaming around up in there, and you get this job, and now the job has driver facing cameras, and you're like, they don't know about this, but they don't know you have these alternate personalities, so they don't really know who's showing up to the job that day. I mean, and if it was me, and if I had to do a job, I wouldn't. I think it's invasion of my privacy. What's next? The blower in the truck. So like, the DUI people, You know, they got the blower in there, so you get in the truck, you got the cameras, you got the lane finders, you got the distant thing going on here, you got the auto stop thing going, you got your blower in there, you got a retina scan and camera. And I mean, come on, Jesus, we already get like so many regulations and rules and things that go on to kind of hinder us from trying to do the job. And so now you got this job and the camera's facing you. And if I was working at a job like that, I'd really give them something to look at. Like here, you know, this would be like kind of an example of like how I would do it. And you know, me and my personalities would kind of be like all over the board with them. I really just give them something to look at. So I'll give you a couple examples. It's gonna be kind of like this.
Traffic bad. Kemosabe not very happy with Tonto if load don't get to concierge on time. Bad for Tonto.
Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yaddy-da-da.
Wait a minute. Why does that have to be macaroni? Why not ravioli? Or rigatoni? Why ravioli, rigatoni, macaroni?
Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it ravioli.
But the thing, driving these truckies make me want to sing. But the thing, driving these truckies make me want to sing. But the thing.
Masters of War!
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I love you, Bart and John. You guys were the best. Da da. Yeah, man. That was the shit back then, man. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. All right. Well, okay. Well, maybe that is maybe that's to the extreme. Okay, but I mean, come on, you gotta have fun with it. I would have fun with it. I mean, that's kind of like what I would be like. I'd get in the truck each day with a different costume, and I would be really just messing with them. I mean, I'd probably get fired anyway, but whatever. So I wouldn't tolerate it, and you know, for me, I really think, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say one way or the other. That's up to the individual what's in their comfort zone. For me, I have my rules and my standards of what I want, expectations of what I want. I mean, I'm out here. I came here to do the job. I came here to move the freight, and I just think it gets. Or if you don't trust me enough to come out here and do the job, I show up when I'm supposed to show up, and I take it where it needs to go, and I'm safe. I do my pre-trips. I do my post-trips. I do my paperwork. I abide by the log and the little laws on all that. The 30-minute DOT penalty box is what I call it. When, oh, Jesus, I'm going down the road, break momentum, and sit on an on-ramp doing that. You really got to find your, as I call it the Goldilocks zone. Yeah, I was with Schneider, I was with Metropolitan, and I'm not gonna bash I'm not gonna sit here and bash them. Whatever. There's guys out there, you know what, it works for them. That's fine. Either one. It just didn't work for me. Schneider. There was things about Schneider that I mean, I had already said it in some other video, but it wasn't going to work. It was too argumentative. I was trying to they just left you sitting too much for me. I like to move and just keep on going. Let's go. I don't want to stop the momentum of the day. It's a 14-hour clock. Let's just keep it going and get it going. And then you're stopping and you're sitting for 4 hours. It just didn't work for me. Plus the household good miles didn't work for me. But you know what? I'm not here to bash and say negative, say, well, don't go to Schneider, don't go to Metropolitan, go where I'm at. Because where I'm at now may not work it works for me. It suits me. I like it. I like where I'm at. And it took me a year to find that Goldilocks zone for myself, for my temperaments and my expectations. These trucks are little older trucks. They don't have any cameras. They don't have the lane finders. They don't have the distance thing. They're pre-def. They're 10 speeds. I mean, I did like the automatics. And, I've been driving, stick trucks since 85. And you know what? Through all the years of me driving stuff, you know what? Okay, fine. You got, oh, yeah. You're not a real truck driver because you like the automatics. Yeah, all right, whatever. You know what? I've driven a lot of garbage over the years. And to me, I had to find something that, I've been independent, self-employed since 91. Okay, now it's 2019. And so, I mean, you got all that range. And for me to stop being an independent and working for myself and doing my own thing, to find a company and become a company driver, I mean, it had to fit, and for me, the numbers didn't jive with Schneider. They called me back after 6 months as a rehire, and I was open-minded. I went to talk to them, and we were still at the same friction. It wasn't going to work. I was at Metropolitan, and whatever. You know what? I just thought they were too uptight for me. I mean, I like laid back, and where I'm at is pretty laid back. I make my own. You make your own routes. They are not micromanaging what you're doing and all this and that. You just, here's the order. It comes in on a people net. I don't really care for the people net. It's too redundant, but whatever. I adapt to it, and so you just do your thing and you're out. So I'm on my 10-hour. Sorry about, it's kind of hard because I parked and I passed out. And I drive through the night, and I prefer to drive through the night. Now that's a whole nother thing. That's preference. Some guys don't want to drive through the night. They don't want a 5 a.m. start. I want to do my 14-hour clock, or I want to start at this time, that time. I start at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and I run my 14-hour clock. So when the traffic starts in the morning, I'm on my way to the shutdown somewhere. I'm either coming back to distribution center and or wherever, and I shut down and I go in the back and I pass out, and now I'm up and getting ready to start my shift again. And you know what? I like where I'm at. Like I said, it's for me. I found my Goldilocks zone, and I'm not going to tell you or anybody, say, oh, Schneider sucks or Metropolitan sucks. Where I'm at is the best, because where I'm at may not work for you. Schneider might, I love Schneider. I'm there. Oh, I love Metropolitan. Whatever. I tried the pro drivers thing. That didn't work. That just, that third party thing just kind of got in the way, something about that. It was just like, they set up an interview for me, and I go there, I do the interview, and I come back and how was the interview at blah blah blah. I'm like, well, I wasn't at that. You sent me over here, not over there. You know, so I mean, they kind of whatever. But hey, you know what? There's guys that like the pro driver thing too. So anyway, that's my senseless rambling for this round. See, I don't know. I debate on how often I'm going to do videos or this and that. I mean, it's hard. You know, I put them together and I email them out or I text them out, and you know, I forget. I don't know who I sent it to. I'm pretty low key on it, and it'd just be easier if it was subscribed, and I would know who got it. Well, I really don't know who got it. Anyway, I hope you got some humor out of it, and I do already have something else in the works that I've been working on, and when I get to finishing it up or doing anything, I'll post it and send it out to whoever. So anyway, thanks for watching, and happy days.